All right, a good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist John Dawson, and the fantastic weather here in Southeast Texas continues. If you could sort of script out what a January day would look like here in Houston, I think it would be pretty similar to what we've got happening right now. First of all, did you see the sunrise this morning? I honestly didn't catch all of it, but I did see a few parts of it where it was just on fire. It was gorgeous this morning. I expect the sunset to be the same way. Now tomorrow we have a little bit of fog that's probably going to be around, so maybe not going to be as spectacular. But the day itself, once we get rid of the fog, will be another fine day here across the Houston area. So let's check in with the current conditions right now. The thing that's changed, which really hasn't impacted us a whole lot, but definitely some, is the wind direction, where we've had mostly from the north to the northwest over the last couple of days. We've now got that swung all the way around to more of a due west wind, and that's going to keep things still relatively dry, but we have been able to sort of creep the humidity levels up just a little bit. Dew points yesterday were in the 30s, and we're now in the mid 40s. You might be able to notice that, or maybe it'll just still feel fairly pleasant, because even the 40s is pretty comfortable, at least here for the Houston area. Partly cloudy skies you're going to notice mostly today. When you see the clouds, there'll be those high upper level clouds that are going to kind of be streaming in a little bit. That's pretty much what you're going to be dealing with. Yesterday's high temperatures just out of 70 degrees for at least most of us. We did make it up to 70 in Cleveland, as well as the College Station and Brenham area, and even the folks over on the west side there in Katy made it up to 70. The rest of us right about 69, 63 for the high yesterday in Galveston. I think more of us will see 70 today. This is this morning's low temperature, so milder than what we did yesterday, mostly 40s across the board. Huntsville was a little bit unusual there to be only down to 50 degrees. Same temperature, as a matter of fact, that Galveston saw for their low temperature this morning. And then right now we find ourselves in the mid 60s as we're sort of breaking into the more of the warmer parts of our day. And as I mentioned, I think we'll kind of get up around 70 for most of us. So warmer than we were at the same time yesterday. Looking at the 24-hour temperature change between this point yesterday and where we are today, a couple degrees warmer or so. And here's a good look at the winds, how they've changed a bit, where we're looking pretty much due west for all of us. And we'll stick in that 5 to 10 mile per hour range as far as what our winds will be doing today. So not too breezy, but a little bit of a breeze at times. So get ready for another beauty, as I mentioned today. Now tomorrow, I talked about that patchy fog. It won't be something that lasts real long, and I don't think it'll be over a widespread dense situation, but a little bit of a pocket here or there is certainly a possibility. And generally speaking, we're looking at pretty great looking weather here for the rest of the week. Maybe not as spectacular, but mostly what we're concerned with, the fact is it'll be rain free, and that's going to be ending on the weekend though, when we definitely see some showers and downpours returning. We will continue to keep you updated with all things weather related on the smart TV app Fox Local. Have you got that on your smart TV? Are you using Fox Local right now to watch me? If you're not, consider that. You go to your smart TV, you download, you go to the App Store on your smart TV, just like you would get Netflix or something like that, and you look for Fox Local. Get that downloaded, and you'll have all the content basically that comes out of our studio here. We actually have a couple studios, and then some of that even ends up being on-demand videos as well. So that's going to be some fantastic content to kind of get ready for whatever the rain showers might bring us this weekend. We actually still have some river flooding that's out there that we're having to monitor with these flood warnings. The National Weather Service, those green areas that are highlighted, we'll zoom in here and get a little bit of a better look. This is going to be the Trinity River, and at Liberty, the city of Liberty, is where we're seeing some major flooding still, and that's going to slowly be receding as we move through the week. Also down in Moss Bluff, there's some little, I think it's moderate or to minor, I can't remember. It's not major, but it's still some flooding for that part of the Trinity River. And then over in the San Bernard, a couple spots, West Columbia and Bowling, that's where we're seeing some of those issues, and it is also that minor to moderate flooding, and it is also on the way down. So good news that everything's on the way down, but still some issues that we're wrestling with a little bit. I'm going to zip way out to the Pacific Ocean, beginning to see the couple different factors that are going to get lined up and really begin begin to change our weather pattern. Again, not till the weekend, though, as we've got some an upper level low that's churning. It's not going to move real quick for a little longer, and then our jet stream is very focused and really bringing in some sort of maybe it helps provide lift that really brings possibilities of some of that rain, helps to transport in, really squeeze out some of that moisture. So all that's going to work together and definitely change things as we move through the rest of the week. Well, we talked about the flood warnings again on where those are. Primarily, we're talking about the Trinity River and the San Bernard River. I think this one needed to be cleared off. We didn't quite get that. The East Fork of the San Jacinto River, I think both, and the West Fork are now no longer at the flood stages. Pretty good-looking day across the entire state of Texas, not just us here in southeast Texas, but a very comfortable 55 degrees up in Lubbock, Del Rio at 63, same thing in the Dallas area, lower 60s as well in San Antonio and Austin. Here's rain expectations over the next 5 days, and it looks kind of wet here in southeast Texas, but as promised, Monday, Tuesday, or how about Tuesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain-free. Friday, this is going to be late in the day on Friday. So even the majority of Friday is going to be rain-free. And our focus is really going to be on Saturday when we're really going to be putting some showers and downpours. And we'll kind of look at some of our FutureCast products here in just a minute. Updating you if the cedar pollen, tree pollen is something that impacts you. Those levels are still relatively high, but overall medium as far as the tree pollen is concerned. And that's really going to be our only issue that we've got happening right now. So 64, 46, always fun when we have numbers that line up that mirror each other like that. That's going to be the high and low that we've seen so far today. And look how close that is to those seasonal averages that we'd expect. And with all that dry air and sunshine, again, it really turns out to be a beautiful looking afternoon. As we go through the FutureCast, those upper level clouds remain with us, and then some at the surface in the form of fog for tomorrow morning, and then we'll deal with another pleasant day once we get to the afternoon. So now let's get into the weekend discussion just a little bit. This is going to be our basically the rain, the expected radar when we look at starting on Thursday night and then going into Friday. You'll notice things get really active when we get into the afternoon. That daytime heating is really going to fire some stuff up. Most of that happening over to our northwest, but then as we move through the evening hours on Friday, we see it get a little bit more movement. I'm pausing here on Saturday morning. That's when we have perhaps some heavier downpours, and then continuing through the day on Saturday, we're moving that rain a little bit further over. So accumulation, when we get a bucket out there and add up how much rain we're going to catch during this time period, you'll notice pretty quiet, as I mentioned, through most of Friday, and then we get into Saturday, and overall it does look like the increased rain amounts are going to be to the north, and we're hopeful that this is even stays at least as far north as it is now, because these are some of the same watersheds that collected all that water from the previous event, the San Jacinto River, as well as the Trinity River. Those are the ones that really caught a lot of water and still pretty full. And those lakes, those reservoirs that go along with them, also having to manage the water that comes in and out. Remember, Lake Conroe was closed a little bit last week, or some of last week, and it's pretty packed already in there. And same thing with Lake Livingston. So we'll have to see how all this impacts that rainfall overall. That could be one of those situations where they're having to let a lot more water out once again. Let's not forget, one of the most important holidays of the year is Friday, September the 2nd, Groundhog's Day. I know a lot of you are probably excited about rodent predictions of the weather. That's going to be Saturday. This is going to be on Friday. So get your alarm clock set nice and early to see what happens there with Punxsutawney Phil up there in Pennsylvania, seeing what some of that weather will look like. But here's that rain possibilities that put some numeric value on that for you as far as potential for rain. We'll put that at an 80% chance that you're going to see some rain. In the meantime, enjoy these fantastic days ahead. 20 minutes from now, Fox 26 News at noon. I'll be here. I hope you will be here as well. We'll check in with you then.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Israeli government spokesman Eilon Levy. This is day 106.